what I want to cover is two parts. Number one, the theory part. Number two, practice part. So we need to have both of them, especially for this. Okay. Now the theory part, we have heard it long, but I'll just keep the theory shorter so that we can see how do we implement it. So when we say there is a consciousness, what is this consciousness? So that's a major thing what we need to understand. So I'll give certain examples, but instead of example, we'll go to the actual thing itself. What is conscious? If you were to say it, then you will find from Greek or Latin or something which says that it makes you become aware. As, there he comes. So basically, first thing we need to understand, whether we do whatever tradition, whatever we do, one thing we need to understand is conscious. Okay, it's a very key word in Buddha Dhamma. That is the major thing. Okay, so first we understand in a normal sense what is conscious. Conscious means there is an awareness, and then sati is also awareness. Then consciousness is also awareness. So how does that happen? If you say consciousness, it has four things. One, it has an awareness. It need not be a proper awareness or an improper awareness, but yet it is an awareness. So proper awareness is known as yoniso manasikara. That means it can go to the root of things. Because yoni is the root, or to the womb, in a straightforward way, if I have to say. What is a womb? How did it start? That's the reason it's called yoniso. And manasikara is from two words. Manasi is recognition. Start from chitta, mano, manasam. So that is where the manasi comes. Kara is to do. So you reflect upon or you recognize and do something. It can be something related to Dhamma, it need not be something related to Dhamma, but that's where you do. So in Abhidhamma, if we were to take, there is one word called as avajjana chitta. That is that chitta which looks at what needs to be done. Okay, so we'll start from the beginning. So first thing is we need to know what is consciousness. And we keep on using that word. So that word represents awareness. So the confusion then comes, if consciousness is awareness and sati is also awareness, so then we are confused, because now which is this awareness and what is that awareness? So I was saying that it has four things in consciousness. One, by nature, it's aware. It's its nature to be aware. So you can't ask, how am I aware? You are aware because you are conscious. As simple as that. Now that consciousness can have two kinds of awareness. One is not able to properly see what it is. Another is to properly see what it is. That is, can go to the root of the things. Another one which cannot go to the root of things. And the root of things in Buddha Dhamma is yoniso, meaning yoni is the womb. So you go to the how it happened. What is the place of origin? If I am called Vilas, how did it come to be? There should be something, right? It can't just happen that somebody calls me Vilas and then I keep on saying I am Vilas, I am Vilas, I am Vilas. There is some origin. That's nidana. Origin. Nidana in Pali or Sanskrit is origin. What's the origin? Origin is birth. And that's the origin. So you have to go to the womb to see how it all happened. Right? We can't see this and say that I'm Vilas. We have to go to the womb. So that way of reflection, awareness is yoniso. Manasikara is from two words. Manasi means mind, but wrongly spelled. It has three stages. So we have chitta, pure light. Mano is that which recognizes. Manasam is what it reflects. So you have a reflector. So let's say some object is reflecting on that. And now you're a stage of accepting that or rejecting that or doing something with that. Now, when you have this, manasi is that you are recognizing and reflecting. The decision making is there. So in Abhidhamma, if you at all you have gone, if you have not gone, don't worry, don't go into jump into that. There is a chitta which is named as avajjana, okay, which is like a decision maker. It just decides this way or that way. So based upon manasam, I can decide. Oh, this I know. He's Hariu. He's my friend. And that's Bobby. He's my enemy. Now, there's no enemy, there's no friend either. But there is a decision made. There's a decision made. So when the decision is made, the chakku, sota, ghana, jivha, kaya, mano will have the same information. That I'm seeing an enemy, I'm hearing from an enemy. Anyway, you can't taste an enemy, but you can touch the enemy. Okay, you can smell the enemy because now it's enemy smell. Even though it is a sweat, but it's enemy sweat, not a friend sweat, right? So smell. And thoughts. Thoughts of enmity. How did it happen? Because it just did a wrong reflection. That's it. Otherwise, there was no friend or there was no enemy in the first place. Okay. So, not only it has awareness. We covered awareness now, right? From conscious perspective. Then we come to the next one, where it can have a feeling. It knows the feeling. What do you mean it knows the feeling? It knows if it meets a friend, there is a sukha vedana, happiness. It knows that if there is an enemy, it is a dukkha vedana. If that is not known at all, it's a neutral feeling. Let's say somebody comes to my home, I don't know who the person is. Even before I were to talk or something, he says, I'm so and so and blah, blah, all that. And then I'm still clueless of this person. So I'm still ignorant, abhijja, ignorance of that person. And hence, there is neutrality. I become just neutral. Because I want to know what this person is. So there is curiosity, but it's not that curious to know who the person is because he just come home and said, look, I'm your neighbor. I've just shifted from so-and-so place. I hope we'll have a good time, etc., etc. So I don't take it too seriously, right? And he also doesn't take it too seriously either. Why? Because it knows. The consciousness knows. So in Buddha Dhamma, there's a very clear-cut information, or rather knowledge on what is vijnana. Vijanati, vijanati, iti vijnana. So it knows. Then the question is asked, what does it know? This is sukha, this is dukkha, this is adukha sukha. What it means is that this, if it does, gives it happiness. This, if it does, it doesn't give happiness. This, if it does, is neutral. And hence the manasikara kara is to do. So it does whatever that can give pleasure because it knows. So when we meet a person, we say, it's my pleasure to meet you. Why? But the first interaction is pleasurable and then the painful start, right? So when I meet a girlfriend and then I shake her hand and she looks beautiful, actually that's giving me pleasure. So I say meeting you is a pleasure. And after few interactions, it's painful because she keeps on nagging. I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that. And I feel, oh my goodness, this pleasurable thing is going away. Now it is replaced by painful. Who got replaced? The consciousness knows this is painful. It's not that we are doing something to make it painful, right? You are not there to make it pleasurable or painful in the first place. It's just the pain arising and pain passing away, pleasure arising, pleasure passing away. So if an object is looking good, the pleasure arises. If the object is not looking good, the pain arises. And it knows. So what did we cover? Covered the awareness. And then, since there is a knower, it has a feeler. It feels. Awareness is the knower. Feeling coming is the feeler. And if there is awareness, which is knower, if there is a feeler, there should be somebody who can perceive it. So there is a perception also in the consciousness. Got it? Yes. So whatever you feel, you perceive. Now I see Bobby, and between Bobby and Janak, Bobby is a friend of Janak. Janak is a friend of Bobby. Now I have jumped into their bandwagon. So we three are there. Now who is better? Janak is better or Bobby is better? If that question is asked, whatever gives me pleasure is better, and whatever doesn't give me pleasure is painful. So whom will I make friend with? Let's say Janak decides that, Vilas, we want to give you 1 million Australian dollars. I think Janak will go away if I were to make that statement. But let's say he's sitting there. Now what happens? And Bobby says, Vilas, I don't have money. Who is better? I would take Janak for sure. Why? I'm getting 1 million Australian dollars. All the while, Aryu was there. He was spending in US dollars. Now I have somebody who is spending in Australian dollars. So now who is better? Aryu is better or Janak is better? Whoever gives me pleasure is better. Simple. It need not be 1 million. Whoever gives me pleasure. So the number what we put is to define the pleasure. That's all. There's nothing else other than that. So whatever gives pleasure, we take it. Meaning the consciousness takes it. What is the third one we just now looked into? There is a perceiver. So if there is a knower, there is a feeler, there is a perceiver. If all these three are there, then there should be an experiencer, right? So there is an experience in the eyes and the ears and the nose and the tongue and the body and the mind. There's no way an experience cannot happen. So there is an experience. And that experience creates craving. Yes, Bobby, go ahead.
So you are saying there is a consciousness, and then you said there is a feeler who is feeling it, and then you also said there is a perceiver and there is experience. So what is the difference between this feeling and experience? Feeling and experience is both Vedana, right?
No. Experiencer is the one which is, you actually jumped it. I wanted to say who is the experiencer. Now that you have opened the cat out of the bag, I would have asked this question, who the hell is this experiencer? But you broke the hell itself. Okay, no problem. So now this experiencer is the one which says, I am. I'm seeing, I'm hearing, I'm tasting, I'm touching, I'm smelling, I'm thinking. That's the experience. So the consciousness has all the four. It is aware, it's a knower. It has feelings, it has perception, and it has experience. So this experience is what we call as past life regression, because that is registered. So when you register it, consciousness keeps on registering. So when somebody you meet who is from your childhood, that experience comes out. So you go back to whatever stage it was, whether you were in your school or even before you were born in this life, you can jump back. And that seems to be something like past life. Yes, go ahead.
So what is the Pali word for a feeler, and what is the Pali word for experience?
There's a same. There's a Vedana only.
Both are Vedana. So both are different. So what when you are saying this feeler and experiencer, when you just now said it is the same Vedana, but you mean it different.
No, I never meant it different. The I which comes out is a feeler. Just the feeling what you get is the feeling. This is sukha. That's just the feeling. Buddha never uses the thing called as I, because that's the one you need to remove it. So if he had put that, then it would have gone into another thing. But where it is said like this, it's there in the, I think what Aryu had sent about Vinyanam, Anidasanam. There it comes. Okay. Because Vinyanasa Nirodhena is that Nirodha of that I, which is always there. It would like to experience. Okay. Vedana is from two words again. Okay. Va plus adana is Vedana. It is, you get a feeling which will create that plus this. So now I am seeing here this person talking. There's a video there, meaning camera is there. Very soon I get caught up with this person who is speaking and I say, I am talking. Is that an experiencer or is that a feeling? It's both. There's a feeling that I am here. There's a feeling I am there. If this body were not to exist, then it's a dead body, right? Then there's no feeler. And then hence there's no experiencer also. But because there is a feeling, there is an experience. I don't know how clear I could say that to you. So, experiencer is the subtlest form of existence itself. The feeling what we talk is gross feeling. I took a mango and ate it, it's a gross feeling. But there is a feeling which is so subtle that is what drives everything for you. So an arhat is one who has cut off feeling and perception. Tanya vedata nirodha. That means there is no perception and there is no feeler, and hence there is no experiencer. The experiencer I should have the feeling and perception. And since there is no I, there is no feeler and there is no perceiver. It's only pure awareness. Yes, go ahead.
So other day you are talking about the consciousness is established and unestablished.
Correct. Anidasana.
Yes. So is that means that the consciousness can stand without this Vedana, without experience?
Yes, that is the whole objective, right? The Nibbanic experience.
Okay. So if that means that, so when you say that Passa Pachayo Vedana, Vedana Pachayo
Tanha.
craving, Tanha. So when that Tanha that is cut off, then there is only conscious, there is no Vedana.
No, if there is no Passa, there is no contact, and there is no feeler.
No feeler.
If there is no feeler, then there is no perceiver. Right? So there is no sanya, perception. If there were not to be any sanya, then how can you have tanha, craving? If there is no craving, then how will you hold it?
What is remains? Nothing remains.
Exactly. That's the whole objective of what we are trying to achieve, right? Now, what will it experience? Now the question comes, okay, all that I agree, but what does it experience? So Buddha never answers it. He says that people who come and ask him, Jiva Sharira, are they same or are they different? What is it? We just read it and say, Jiva, Jiva, Sharira. Jiva has all the four. You take an ant. It perceives, it feels, it knows, and it experiences. You take a human being, all the four. So when we say Jiva is one thing and the body is another thing, is one way of putting it. Or Jiva is the same thing and the body is the same thing, is another way of putting it. Then Anantavaloko, Antavaloko. Is the world eternal or the world is ending? It has an end. So this kind of argumentation is called Chatushkoti, meaning you put a person in a spot and ask him to select either one of them. So if you were to say there is no experiencer at all after an arhat, and the person is dead, but he is experiencing. Right? But what is he experiencing? He is experiencing minus I, which is just awareness. Just observer. It's just an observer effect, not observer plus feeler plus perceiver plus experiencer. Now the observer, one second there, you. Observer is himself the experiencer. He experiences whatever is coming, but there's no I to take anything there. Now, who is this I? I just said, I is the one which says, I have seen, I have heard, I have lived here. Like now, if we were to say, what's the difference between United States, Australia, India, New Zealand? What's the difference? Now, can you tell me in this, who is the knower? Who is the feeler? Who is the perceiver? Who is the experience? Anyone can answer before I take the question of Aryu. Or even Aryu can answer. You're on mute, I think so. I can't hear you. Can anybody else speak? Yeah, I can hear. I don't know. Is it at my problem or anyone else would like to speak? At least I can hear some sound.
I can make sound, but it is. I think it is a difficult question.
Okay. No, it is difficult question. Why? Because I use the word who. Who is always I, right? So I am the awareness. I am the feeler. I am the perceiver, and hence I am the experience. So I do sankharas. Avidya pachay sankhara. So I have to do some sankhara. Right? I have to do something. If there were no I, then there is nothing to do. And that's the reason Buddha says, what does he say? Anichyavata sankhara. That is said by Sakka. Anichyavata sankhara. Upada vayadhammino upajitva nirujjanti tesan upasamosukho. Anichyavata sankhara. The sankharas which I am doing, I am a doer, doing something about it, is anicca. It arises and passes away. It can't stay. Meaning, no matter how much I become aware of an object, the object will go away. How much I feel that object, that feeling will go away. How much I try perceiving that object will go away. How much ever experience I want to take it, that experience is sankhara, because that has three khandas: Vedana khanda, Sanya khanda, Sankhara khanda. These three become namam, the name side of it. And the Rupa is the earth element and water element and air element and fire element, and the Upadaya Rupa as in the color. Then you have the sapidity, then you have nutriments, and then you have the Gandha, which literally transforms to what? Odor. So this is Rupa, and this side is Nama. For Nama and Rupa to function, it requires these four things. So it requires Vedana Khanda, Sanya Khanda, and Sankhara Khanda. So this doer is the experiencer. But even after Arhat, he has to do something. Maybe he'll not do this thing, but he has to do something. So that doer will continue. But what does he do? Nothing. You just now said he'll do something. Yes, but he does nothing of that doing itself. So there are no karma, or there are no deeds, and hence he is released. So there is another sutta where Buddha says, Kammam khetta, Vinyana bija, and Tanha sineho. If you were to water it, you already have seeds. So the Vinyana job is to bring it up. What brings up? From whatever you're seeing outside and inside, there is an experience which is brought up. So what does it do? There's an awareness of an object, then there's a feeling of an object, then there's a perception of the object, and there is an experience of that object. These are four things that basically counts. So this is what we can look at the womb existence as yoniso manasikara. So we covered the manasikara. So it has all the four. All the four. It has the awareness, it has the feeler, it has the perceiver, it has experience. When I say doing manasikara, like in the Nama also, the definition given is that Phassa, Vedana, Chetana, Phassa, Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Manasikara. Okay, in the Sammaditthi Sutta, Sariputta clearly explains what is Nama. So these five. Let's stick on to this definition and see what happens. There is a Phassa, contact. So the consciousness gets contact into what? One side Rupa, one side Chakku, one side Sota, one side Shabda, one side Gandha, one side Ghana, one side Rasa, one side Jivha, one side Kaya, one side Pottabha, one side Mano, one side Dhamma. Who gets in touch with it? Consciousness. Chakuncha paticcha, Rupe, cha uppajjati chakku vinyanam. That means the consciousness comes out to take both the chakku on one side and the rupa on the other side. So it's aware of the chakku, it's aware of the rupa. You don't have to tell it. This is I and this is the sight. Have you ever done that? No. Have you ever told the nose that, nose, I'm telling you, from today onwards, you are going to eat from the nose? No. It knows exactly to take the smell. Have you ever informed the tongue that I'm telling you, seeing will be from the tongue from today? No. even if you take a just born baby, as soon as it is given in the mother's hand, it starts to search for food and it opens its mouth. It doesn't open anything else except for the mouth. So who knows it? The consciousness knows it. Okay? So we are not teaching consciousness how it has to be. You are teaching consciousness to become a witness rather than the doer. Got it? And hence you can experience, I'm using this word again, experience nibbana. Where? In the consciousness only. Where else? So Paramatta Satya is Rupa, Chitta, Chetasika, and Nibbana. Rupa, material form. Chitta, mind. Chetasika, the mind elements. Nibbana, minusing the Rupa, minusing the mind, just awareness. Any questions? Anyone? Any confusion? Any fights? Any argument? Yes, sir, you go ahead.
And gets to Arhat, and only the awareness, this observer is left. Is it equivalent to say this first one, this knower remains?
Yes, only the knower and experiencer.
Experiencer, but not really as the experiencer.
It is an experiencer minusing the I. There is no I left. So, Vinyanam Anidasanam. We have covered it how many number of times, but I love this entire phrase. Vinyanam Anidasanam, which May had asked, Nidasana, Anidasana, what it means. Nidasana, illustration. So, you are in the chitta, in the mind. This room is illustrated. Yes or no? The room, what you're seeing is illustrated or unillustrated? Is it established or unestablished? It is established. Whose room is it? If a question is asked, you would say Vilas' room. Now, after hearing this, you might say, I don't know. That is separate. Because now you want to pretend that there's only a knower and the experience. But as far as it goes, as you're seeing this room, you get to see that is Buddha, even though that's a painting, just a painting. There's no Buddha out there, but you recognize as Buddha. That means there is a knower. Don't you feel it is Buddha? Yes, the feeler. Don't you perceive that is Buddha? Yes, it is. And then aren't you experiencing Buddha? The answer is yes. In the same way, if you're in Australia, aren't you aware that you're in Australia? Yes. Aren't you feeling that you're in Australia? Yes. Aren't you perceiving that you're in Australia? Yes. Isn't that true that you are experiencing Australia? And the answer is yes. Is Brisbane just a name or is it real experience? And the answer is Brisbane is real experience. As experience as in San Francisco, as experience as in Wellington, as experience as in Auckland, as experience as in Bangalore, as experience as in Mumbai, as many people are sitting here. Can you show the Mumbai experience other than the New Zealand experience? Yes, Bobby, go ahead.
Pilasti,
Namaste.
So-
Yes, go ahead.
what about the person who is then sitting in India, and what are they experience like? So, what do they that terminology what you use about Australia or Brisbane, would that be perception, just perception, not with experience, not with knowing, not with feeling, just perception?
No, Mirin, is like this. When the word Australia is said for the very first time, there is no registration. Agree with me? I don't even know where Australia exists. I will use another one. Australia, at least we have heard. Timbuktu. Have you heard it? Okay, there's a place called Timbuktu. Right? But where it is? I don't know. What? Who doesn't know? I don't know. Is awareness knows it? Yes. But it can't feel Timbuktu. It can't perceive Timbuktu. And hence, can it experience Timbuktu? No. One day, what happens while you are driving from Brisbane to Perth? There's a small board which says, way to Timbuktu. So what happens? Same awareness, but now the board made you feel out there is Timbuktu because there is one arrow, symbol, nimitta. And it says, go straight and you find Timbuktu. What if there was a trash can and it was named Timbuktu? So what you do is you take a detour and then you drive and you find, oh my goodness, some idiot has put a trash can and has named it Timbuktu. Right? So next time if I use this word Timbuktu, you are going to laugh at it and you say, you know what happened? I was going from, our house is in Brisbane, we were driving towards Perth and I found a board and it said Timbuktu. Since you had told me this, so now there is a feeler, perceiver, experiencer. It was just an awareness, but you converted that into an experience and you went in search of Timbuktu. And then you found a trash can. The trash can was named as Timbuktu. In the same way, Bobby did this mistake of finding Mirin in a trash can. And Mirin also did the same mistake of finding Bobby in the trash can. And they both are trash cans. I'm not only picking up on Bobby and Mirin, it is me and my wife and Aryu and everyone is the same. Because you feel there exists a wife, you perceive a wife, and hence you experience the wife which don't have a wife. And the same with husband, and same with the family, and same with Australia, and same with India, and same with whatever you take. Because there's just a knower, and just knowing, as sati, just knowing, nothing else, no symbolization. And you are in vimukta. Why? It's relief. If you don't have a wife, will the wife die ever? See, let's take this. If there are no trash can called Timbuktu, will it ever die? Because it never existed. If somebody comes and convinces you, hey, Vilas, you have a Timbuktu there. Say, maybe he has a Timbuktu, I don't have any Timbuktu. In the same way, if somebody comes and tells me, Vilas, you have a wife, she's going to die, I'm going to laugh at it. Which wife you're talking about? But since I can't make him to go into the mental asylum or he puts me in mental asylum, I will say, yeah, you're right. Because I'm in a mental hospital now. All are mental people here. Because we take what is not true to be true. And that's happening as a conscious experience, isn't it or not? So whenever you see this body, you call that as Bobby rather than the body. But when the consciousness depart, do you call it as Bobby? You will call it as a body. Isn't it funny? When the person went to the hospital, you called the name Vilas went to hospital, but when it came back, when is the body arriving? What? You should say, when does Vilas arrive? You know that person is dead. He cannot arrive. So you just say, when does the body arrive? And the family members also will ask, when are you taking this body out for funeral? Strange, right? Why? Why? Because there is no experiencer now. So your experience voidness. This is voidness. There's nothing there. No thing there called vilas. So when that thing goes away, because it was never there, like Timbuktu. Now what happens? You search for it. Where will you search? You will search in your chitta, because that is where this experience is formed. So Buddha says, cleanse the chitta so that you don't get into suffering. And how did the suffering start? Because of consciousness. And why did consciousness take it? Because it wanted to exist. Why it wanted to exist? Because it had upadana, holding on to life, that I want to exist. And why it did so? Because it had craving. Why did it crave? Because of the feeling. Why did it feel in the first place? Because it has 6 senses. And why did the 6th sense come in the first place? Because of nama and rupa, the name side and this rupa side. And why did that ever come to be? Because of the same vijnana. And why did the vijnana come? Because of sankhara. To do something. Keep on doing, keep on doing. And why did I start doing it? Because I was in ignorance. Why was I in ignorance? Because I was in asava, or ashrava in Sanskrit, which is fermented things. And what got fermented? Raga is a fermentation. Vesha is a fermentation. Moha is a fermentation. When did I take this? You took this when you have a sight. You took it when you had a sound. You took it when you had a smell. You took it when you had a taste. You took it when you had a body. And you took it when you had a mind. So you're going to suffer with the 6 senses. So when will I come out of it? Just drop all the 6 senses and that's it. So yoniso manasikara is in the same consciousness. Ayoniso manasikara is also same consciousness. So you are trying to remove the ayoniso and make it yoniso through what? Through morality, sila. Right? Because moral and immoral is in the chitta, in the mind, and the mind has consciousness. So now if you say I'm a very moral human being, it means to say what? That in the consciousness, no immoral thoughts are coming. It's not that I have become moral. No. The experience is moral because the awareness has become moral. So the feeling is moral. The perception is moral. Experience is moral. If you were to be in moral foundation, isn't it not right that you can establish you, that you, experiencer you? Can it not establish in samadhi? Yes. Now can't it get into panya? Yes. And with that panya, can it not drop this experience? Yes. If it drops that experience, isn't it just awareness? Yes. If it's just awareness, isn't that's a witness? Yes. If it is that witness, it's called witness consciousness, which is Nibbana. Because it's unconditioned. There's no further condition required. It just stays. As an observer, just pure awareness, nothing else. For everything else, there is a feeler, there's a perceiver, there is an experiencer. Sanya Vedita Nirodha is a state when there is no feeler and there is no perceiver. So what happens to experiencer? Shunya, empty. So, did an animitta, signless, apanihita, created the stage for desirelessness, There's nothing to possess of the six senses. And now what happens? Shunya. So is it nidasana or anidasana vinyana? It is anidasana vinyana. Because it's not established on anything. Mirin, I don't know how much did I answer to your question. I think I took a flight from Australia. I went all the way to San Francisco.
You did, but it's good. Thank you.
Yes, Ravindra, go ahead.
My question is regarding this Paramatta Satya.
Ah.
So how Rup Chitta Chaitisika correlated with this?
There's no correlation. It's Rupa plus mind plus Nibbana. Okay. Now, Rupa is Rupa. If you don't take it as my Rupa, it will go where? Dustbin. So what do we do generally when somebody is dead? We take the Rupa, we take to some kind of cemetery, a Hindu cemetery or a Christian cemetery or a Muslim cemetery or some cemetery. It will be either burnt or put it on the earth or wherever it is put, and some crying and some weeping and some frustration, blah, blah, blah. After a few months and few years, you forget that person. That is Rupa. The experience what you're getting of that person is the mind, right? Is it conditioned or unconditioned? Both are conditioned. Vilas exists as long as this body is there. When the consciousness goes away, what happens? Now, tomorrow we are supposed to meet and my wife gives you a call, or when you're wanting to come, it's a bad news. He's gone. What? And how? Where? Who? What happened? Blah, 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 right? This too, mind and body, is death. Correct? Nibbana has no birth and no death. Because it's always stays, just witness. It is least bothered about which body came and left. It is least bothered about which mind came and left. So, Parama Attha. Parama is ultimate. Attha is essence. Artha in Sanskrit is also essence. Paramartha Satya or Parama-Attha Satya or Paramartha Satya, if you were to take it in a very Sanskritized way. Parama is ultimate, Artha or Attha is essence, Satya is the truth. So what's the truth? You will lose both the body and the mind all the time. Yes? Isn't it true or false? 100% true. So what remains? What remains?
Experience.
No, Nibbana remains. Yes, there is Paramattha here. What? Rupa is there. Not your Rupa. Rupa is there. Chitta is there. Is there. Not your Chitta. It's Chitta. Chetasika is there. Is there. So what is Chetasika? When the Chitta has, it will come with Phassa, the Sparsha or contact. Then there's a feeling. Then there's a perception. Then there is an intention. Then there is a Jivitindriya. That means the life faculty. So the person will not die unless the battery is dead. I take a computer. It's 20 years now. The computer is there. It has served me beautifully and it's becoming aged. Who is becoming aged? The battery. The power supply has not got aged. Have you heard anybody saying my power supply went aged? Have you ever heard? That's Vijnana. Vijnana has no age. Now what you do, you take the power supply and you connect to the laptop, but the laptop is not working. Even with that connected. Why? The Jivitindriya is gone. So, Phassa, Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, then Jivitindriya, then Manasikara. These are the 7 Chetasikas which appear on the Chitta. Is it true or false? It is true. Paramartha. But it'll go away. Nibbana goes away because it never comes to go anywhere. So you can't say on reaching Nibbana, I will be free. Sorry, you will never reach. There's nothing to reach there.
Yes.
Giving up is Nibbana, not taking. So if I give up, what should be given up? I'm in Nibbana. Yes, Arya, you had a question? Go ahead.
I'm thinking about this case where you say, you call this person, are you? As soon as you fall on the ground, you say it's a body. Okay?
No, if he falls on the ground, we'll just say fallen are you. And
Yes, but you say,
wait. There are 6 stages there. First, standing are you. Then fallen are you. Then turned out are you. That means you twist him this way, that way, turned. Then you make him sit. Sitting are you. Then unconscious are you. And dead are you.
yes. At which point the body becomes just a body.
No. All the time body was just a body. Did it ever change, are you? No. It never changed. Meaning change as in it didn't become A to become B.
No, I'm not saying that. Just from the normal person's perspective.
Normal person's perspective, yes.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. Normal person. So, but now, some people have these, people who can connect with the soul. Right? So they make these people and do some rituals, and then suddenly I come into right, Gandapa. So now he's talking like Aryu, right?
Right.
I mean, there's the Aryu's back, right? They'll say, "Hey, Aryu."
Yes, it's back. No doubt. Why? The Gandhapa still exists. It has come out of the gross body. But have I ever told you that it has come out of subtle body also?
So I guess my question is that so that the normal people, even though they don't know Dhamma and all that, they know that it is this experiencer, whatever thing that they're calling Aryu. Even
Yes.
though they mistake it as the body, but from this experience, you can see that they're actually identifying with this experiencer.
Yes, and in fact, that is true. That's called reincarnation. So in the Tibetan way of living, they don't believe in rebirth, they believe in reincarnation. Okay. So in Sikkim or in Tibet or in some place, there are lakes where they go and stand. So there is a place in Gurdongma, in Sikkim, where I had gone. It's called as Gurdongmar Lake at 17,110 feet. Okay. And that lake is visited by lamas. Okay. And that lama would keep on staring at the lake and he sees a reflection. And it will say how far from this place that lama or the Rinpoche has taken rebirth. Like when I went to a monastery in Ladakh, okay, it's called Dixit Monastery. It's a very nice monastery. Actually, for the visitors, they only allow from the top. They don't allow from inside. Since my partner is there, or my friend, or I think a calling partner is a better thing. Okay. So he and I, with a lot of guests, or could say tourists, we had gone there. So my friend said, why don't you join along with me? We will meet the Lama. Okay. So we went and met the Lama. And that Lama, my friend started, or my partner started explaining that he knows so much of Buddha teaching. He also knows the Tibetan. He looked at my eyes like this. They said he's a Lama. Okay. And that's all. What did he do? I don't know. Right? How did he ever come to know? So let's take that as a truth. Okay. But I myself have an experience of a past life, of being in Tibet. So it tallies with what he's saying, whom I have not even met. And the way he gave me a special place to sit, saying that you are not supposed to sit along with these people, you have to sit there. which made a total difference. And he said to my friend, you be with him. He's the right person for you. And we were coming and we were saying that, okay, how did this whole thing happen? So they believe in reincarnation. So he is seeing something. How far true, how far false, I have no idea. Right? If I'm a skeptic, I'll say that that guy, that Lama has gone mad, right? He's in a remote place, so anyway, he doesn't meet anyone. So being alone, he is imagining. Yeah, true. But they believe in reincarnation. So then what happens is that when you call a Gandhab or a spirit inside, it's reincarnating inside this person's body. Okay. Now what happens? If it is true, it will pick up those objects which the other person was speaking. That's exactly what they do with the finding the Rinpoche. So they'll give him 5-6 objects which he was using it. So the 14th Dalai Lama was 13th Dalai Lama. There was 12th Dalai Lama, the 11th Dalai Lama, 10th Dalai Lama, like that. Right? Dalai means ocean. Lama is a priest. Dalai Lama is ocean of compassion. So when they use, the Mongolians use the word Dalai, it means ocean of compassion. That means there's a Avalokiteshvara. Okay. He was born in Golconda in Hyderabad, near in Andhra. And then he became so popular of the Mahayana that they pray him across the Mahayana traditions. Right? So this Avalokiteshvara. So is a ocean of compassion. And it is believed that this Dalai Lama is a reincarnation. I use the word reincarnation of Avalokiteshvara. Because his traits are exactly what Avalokiteshvara was doing. So this is reincarnation. So the Avalokiteshvara spirit, if I could use that word, entered into this as a 14th Dalai Lama. Right? This is possible, actually. And they do it even today. There is a ritual, like you were talking, a ritual in the entire Tibetan thing. There is a ritual. So in that ritual, if you were to participate, you can go along with the lamas, and then they will start to recite, and they recite in front of the children whom they think are reincarnated. It's very surprising. They exactly behave as they were behaving in their past life. And they go and ask the parent, give me your child, because he is our Rinpoche. And they bring it, put him on the pedestal, and from that day, it starts. Like the current Dalai Lama, his original name is Tenzin Gyatso, born in Tibet. And these lamas went there, and then they said that he is 13th Dalai Lama. You have to give this child to us. And they brought the child, and from the age of 7, he's there in Lhasa. So that is reincarnation. So there are two things, rebirth and reincarnation. In the Theravada tradition, there's no reincarnation thing. In the Mahayana, they believe there is reincarnation. Why? Because the spirit, the Gandhava can always be brought up. Why that? From 2013 end to 22, I had a being who was associated with me who didn't have any body. And I knew this person has arrived. I used to feel this person is sitting next to me. I'm not imagining. And the voice used to change. So I told him, boss, don't do this. If you keep on doing this, I will not learn. So you leave me alone. And then in the July or August of 2022, he said, okay, this is my goodbye to you. And I knew it. And he's gone. And now from that time, I never feel anybody sitting next to me. Because otherwise, I knew that this person has come. And I know that he has left also. And you will come to know that if somebody is sitting next to you. So you can ask him to enter your body, and it will enter. It's as simple as that. And whatever his voice was there, it is to come. So I said that don't change the voice. Don't modify it. Because it became quite obvious. And then the people who were listening, they were saying that why there is a change in the voice. And I can't keep on explaining that, you know what, somebody came and he sat and now he left. It is possible. Yes, May, go ahead.
Are they changing your voice? Was he coming into your body and changing?
That's exactly what I meant. So one day he asked me, can I come home? Yeah, well, hold on, Bobby. So I said, yes, you can come. He said, I already know your home. I was just thinking he's joking. But it's true. Because one person who can see the spirits, he had come home. So he asked me, why are you bringing so many spirits home? You already have one spirit who is sitting with you all the time. And I knew it. It's true. He's also seeing it. I'm also seeing it. We both are seeing the same thing. It's there. I knew he was there. I knew he didn't have a body. I also knew that he's just passing away his time. Because he asked me when I was jogging. My wife used to tell me that you shouldn't go too early to a park or something and walking and all that. And he used to be very obsessive of jogging. So I went at 4 a.m. in the morning, leaving home at around 3:40. I reached there. Somebody called my name. I was very clear. I saw nothing was there. And then he started following that being, whatever that being is. And then it said, I will teach you spirituality, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, I don't know. And how? It is actually telepathic messages. So you will know that he's talking. And your mind is also getting changed. So it's literally like you're fighting with yourself, whether you are that or you're not that, and a lot of confusion you have to undergo. Then I thought I will not go to that park ever. But then it's pulling. Every day I go, every day he comes, every day he meets. And one day he just asked me, can I come home? I thought, okay, some weird imagination of mine. Yeah, you want to come wherever you come, let's see. And it's a pain. And I went to Abu Dhabi. I had worst experiences because now I'm alone. This person is there with me all the time. All the time. But I mean, I didn't have any issues with that. But you know, somebody is there with you. Yes, wait a second, Aryu. Let's finish with Bobby. Yeah, Bobby, you had message.
No, actually, when you say this Gandharva and somebody who you said that he doesn't have a body, so that means there's only mind is there. There's
Yes.
no body for that.
No
yeah.
body.
Okay, yeah. And I've read in some suttas, when the sexual intercourse happened between a man and a woman, in that time, there is a Gandharva also present. That's how this.
Yes, I've seen that. I've seen that. So that's the reason I stopped having sex, because I couldn't tolerate so many beings coming and sitting, and I can see the beings and they're just waiting.
Okay.
It's a torture, to be honest.
It's a torture. But my question was, is it possible that when this even when you have this like sperm and ovum joined together, that time there is no Gandhava, and it is possible that some after 3 months or something.
45 days. 45 days. 45 days.
Yeah, after 45 days or 1 month, 3 months, is it possible to this Gandhava can any time, or is it only that at the time of it?
No, it's like this. Okay, I'll give you a very beautiful example. In Brisbane, are you having a permanent house or it's a rented house?
It's a permanent house.
Permanent house. So how did you make it permanent?
Like we paid almost a month.
Wait. I will tell you the steps. And that's exactly the steps what Gandhava would take. First, you will go and search. Right? So either through a real estate agent or something, you'll first go and search. Exactly, that's what it is doing. When anybody is having an intercourse, it's doing a search. Which place is the best for that kind of mindset? Right?
Sorry. So that time it doesn't have a body,
It doesn't. Just
so
because somebody is. Yeah, go ahead.
So once when you die, once is the whatever is departed from your consciousness, so that time it can stay a long time without a body.
Yes, absolutely. That is what the Gandhabba is all about.
What is like, Gandhabba is another, for example, all these different realms Buddha has explained. So where this Gandhabas belong to?
Superb question. Nice. I appreciate you. So I think we are going in something else, but anyway. So what is Gandhabba? Gandhabba is made out of 4 things. First, you need to know what it's made out of. Okay. One is the kamma, bija. Okay. That means there are seeds of your kamma. Okay. That doesn't go anywhere. So you require for existence, the kamma has to be there, meaning the deeds has to be there. Okay. Then it should be having a chitta, the consciousness per se. It doesn't go anywhere, right? There's nothing called birth and death for a consciousness. It either exists or in this body or it exists outside the body. So you can't say that it dies, basically. There's no death for consciousness. It just leaves the body rather than dying, right? The death is in the 6 senses, but not per se somebody is dying. We just make that word, he's dead, because that's a way of saying that something departed, right? So this is the second body. So the first body is the kamma body, which is the deed body. And the second one is the chitta body. Chitta is the mind. Okay? Then the utu body. Utu is the environment in which this being has to stay, either with body or without body or whatever it is, right? So it can stay. And then the karajakaya, which is nothing but the food. Okay. Gandha is smell. Gandhabba is that being which can live by smelling. Okay. Now I'll give you some beautiful examples. At least you should have born in you are born in India, so you would know. So there are temples or churches or whatever it is. If you were to go and keep some, what I can say, some food or fruits or whatever in front of the God, and you pray that God, and then he gives you a piece of that food and saying that have it. You think God came and ate it? No, it is Gandhabba. Now, you are having a Deva Gandhabba, which is coming and tasting it, as opposed to some other Gandhabba coming and tasting it. Tasting means what? It just smells it. So when you smell it, yeah, the taste of the food changes because it is eaten. Now this person might think he is given to Krishna or Rama or whatever is Hindu or some other person. But no Rama and Krishna or anyone came there. It's just the Deva Gandhabba which came and it participated in whatever you did, and then it is smelt it and it's gone. But when you taste it, you feel, wow, God came and took food from me. What stupid thing. It is a consciousness only. It doesn't take nor it will throw. So this is Gandhabba. 4 things. Karajakaya, Chittajakaya, Utujakaya, Kammajakaya. So you are basically these 4. Right? To experience that, you require 6 senses. Otherwise, how will you experience your Kamma? Right? So that you require the 6 senses. And when you have 6 senses only, you can either enjoy or suffer. Right? One second, are you? So now it's departed. When you say departed, who departed? Who? The Gandhabba. It departed from this body. Does that mean it's the end of that Gandhabba itself? No. Now, realms are the thing which is capable of its existence. So when I say a human realm, its existence is dependent on the availability of the womb or the house. In the Deva realm, it's instantaneous. You die here, that is ito chuta tato utpanna. That means it's gone here, it's established there. Because it doesn't require a womb. Same Gandhabba. Okay. Gandhabba. Don't call it a same or different. Gandhabba. Now, the Karajakaya is not required. Why? In the Deva realm, there's nothing called as smelling or whatever it is, right? It's not required. Chitta is the same thing. Utu, the environment is of the Deva. And then what happened to the Kamma? The Kamma are of the Deva. So Where will the consciousness establish? It will establish there. If it is supposed to establish in human realm, it will establish in human realm. To be establishing in the human realm, it has to find a womb. To find a womb, it has to find couples copulating. Whether with light or without light, it doesn't matter. The Gandhabba can know it. We are switching off light because we don't want people to see. But the amount of people who are seeing it is worse than seeing a pornographic movie. Yes, go ahead. Yes, Ariu.
A practical question. So does that mean my son definitely there observing when me and my wife were
Absolutely. Absolutely. Whoever, whichever being wanted to be your son has been following you wherever you went and whenever you did it. It didn't get an opportunity then and there, but it went and booked the house like what Bobby did in Brisbane. He went and booked it. This is the house which exactly fits us as a family. So now his daughter and Mirin, they went and they looked at, what do you feel this house? It's good. How much? So then you negotiate. And he says, after 1 year, we will give you this if it is in construction, let's say. So every day he's going there and watching. So every day that is happening. Now, wait. Blastocyst is a stage when the cells mutate. They keep on mutating and it comes to blastocyst stage. At that moment, no Gandhabba is entered. So that's the reason you can do this IVF and all kind of thing, because you can then insert in the womb. Now, when you insert in the womb, this being which is already booked, right? It has booked itself. It has booked the whole property, right? Now it will move. Why take 45 days? Why not tomorrow itself? It should happen the following. Number one, it should match to the so-called father. So it will run itself into a stage when it can find the father. The situation which will fit for its existence as a father. And it has to fit to the existence to become a mother. So the Gandhabba can enter inside but finds it is not the right home. It departs from there and we call it as miscarriage. Why? Because that house was not interested. But why did it ever come in the first place? Like we pay advance, right? We go and pay the, the real estate agent and say, okay, here's my token advance. And then you come back and say, I think we did a mistake. I'll take it back. Yeah, down payment. So we take it back and he says, look, I'm going to deduct $5,000 from this. Say 10,000 is also okay. Who is going to stay in that house? I found a better home. So this mother, one day she finds something popping out and she starts crying. Oh, shit, you know what happened? I went through this miscarriage. Oh my goodness, our only child is blah, blah, blah. Who child there? There was no child. This cursing being has sat inside. He is following you. Just like that disembodied being who was following me is following. Okay. Yes, go ahead.
So there's father and the mother, right? This being, who is he following? If he's following the mother or the father or both? Sometimes the father and mother comes far apart. And
now this is a very this is a whole day exercise, I think so.
And similarly in IVF also, like Ariel is asking, it's the IVF pregnancies and things like that. Like there is no father there.
Yes,
there is only mother.
No, father as in the father which is going to take care, right? It need not be a father as a sperm father, right? See, all that what is required is not the sperm. See, we are missing the point here. XX, XY. The chromosomes are different and the Gandhabba is different. Just because the zygote at the time when the ovum and the egg, egg and the sperm meets, there's no life there. It is the sperm itself has a life, right? All sperms have life. even if it is ejaculated, it stays for hours together, right? So that's not a life form as a Gandhabba. It has life. It has a battery. So what happens? Within the time, it has to go and fertilize the egg, right? So it is fertilizing the egg. Just because it is fertilizing the egg in a natural way, it is nothing like you can't fertilize the egg in the unnatural way also. So I take the sperm from the sperm bank, and then I take an egg from the so-called mother. I'll collect some eggs from her, and then I will inject these sperms into these things in a tray at a minus 20 degrees centigrade, and then it hatches. What hatches? The sperm enters and eats the egg. Right? And then what happens? We think it's a life form. Yes, it is. But of sperm life. Right? So blastocyst, once it has happened, it's ready now to be put back in the mother's womb. So what I do is I will take an injection and then inject it into the uterus, and then there is this being entering, irrespective of whether it went through a natural sexual process or an unnatural sexual process, the end result is the same. What if the Gandhabba doesn't arrive? Then what happens? It will just fall down. When? Immediately, in a 10-day or 20-day, within 45 days, it will just come out and that's it. Now, only when the being enters, and then the further growth and maturity is happening. If you look Maha Nidana Sutta, 4 questions are there related to this only. How does he asked this question, Ananda, how do you know this guy comes here? He says, father should be there. Father should be there. He doesn't say, this father. The sperm giver should be there. Okay, great. The mother should be there. That is, the one who is giving the food should be there. So this is the sperm and this is the egg, and they come together doesn't mean the being will enter. And then he says, Gandhabba has to be there. What if the Gandhabba is not there? Nothing is going to happen.
Then how about in cloning?
So now you come. Okay, wait. I'll give some breather to our friend Asad. He's been pinging me. I want to talk. Hey, go ahead, Asad. And then I will take up the cloning also. I'll answer.
Sure. I was waiting for 10 minutes.
Yes.
Just joking. So, a bit of a question about your experience. You were suggesting that you were seeing being around yourself, or you were feeling beings around yourself.
Oh, good question.
Which one was that?
All the 4. Knower, feeler, perceiver, experiencer.
Were you seeing them as a black body, transparent black body?
No. So there are various forms. I have also experienced in my childhood days, my father and mother used to feel that this guy is going to go mad, because I used to have a lot of beings and talking to me and going, and then at the ceiling used to go white when those beings used to interact. So thing is like this. There are black beings whom you will know that they look stark black. Okay? There are beings which are stark white, means you couldn't imagine that white. It's brilliant white. I mean, it will actually reflect. Whatever is there is just like sometimes when I used to sleep in my parents' home, especially, I used to have these called beings or ghosts or whatever you want to call that as. And from my early childhood, I've been having these experiences. It's a paranormal activities is what it is called. I've been having it from the age of 7. Paranormal activities. Okay. So somebody comes, somebody speaks, somebody does something with me, and I feel and perceive and all that, right? So I have seen black, I have seen white, means real white. I've seen a mixture of it. I've seen dwarfs. I've seen ghost kind. I've seen many kinds of beings. from my childhood onwards. So I'm well versed with that. Initially, I used to feel scared. Even now, I feel scared, and that's the reason sometimes my wife keeps on shaking me up because I make some weird noises when these beings try entering into the body, and then I have those experiences. Yes, go ahead.
That was one of the questions. I had that question. Whether these beings enter you in your body when you are when after your meditation or that kind of stuff.
They would.
Get
They-
into.
They would. Like when I went to VRI, honestly speaking, I could feel. I could feel. So now you might ask me, you are feeling.
How-
Because you become aware. That's the reason I took this aspect of consciousness. Consciousness gets aware of something. This awareness. When there's awareness, you have a feeling of something. And when you have feeling, you'll have perception of that. Right? And then you get experience of it. So you can call it as a ghostly experience or a divine being experience, all that. Like on the 8th day, okay, I was having this Kalapa experience, beautiful Kalapa experience. So, okay, then this being, I saw it completely with my eyes damn open. Me and closed, then I thought, let me open, and then I'm seeing it. And he said exactly the words. I want you to train your wife and your child or your son. They are capable of getting it. And the first thing I told them when I came home was this. And then it gave me even more further details on the Kalapa, how you should see. And apart from this, there are other ways of seeing Kalapa, etc., etc. Okay. So then it's like, my faith in Goenka should have increased 100-folds. Because he keeps on saying about Kalapa, and now I'm having a Kalapa experience from day 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And to an extent that the assistant teacher himself called me, you're having great experiences, so can I know what kind of experiences are you having? So I said him some, and then he said, because I had asked him earlier, can I sit and meditate at my room? Because I was feeling there were a lot of beings around, which in that Dhamma hall, I would have missed them, but it was not it. They were also following there. So if I was staying in my room, I would have done even more better, is what I was feeling. Okay. But I knew that there are beings there.
It's quite interesting. So I had a few of those experiences. Initially, I used to get freaked out, but then I said, "Well, hey, you're not alone." Apparently, you could give command as well. Hey, you're not alone. You're not welcome, but maybe happy where you are. Stay where you are. I'm happy the way I am. Just stay away. That was my things. I mean, once I noticed, I told one of the after the once it did happen to me a few years ago when I was in Christchurch. The meditation, I just literally I noticed apparently the room entire around me are beings, but I could feel I would have guessed what they are, but then I wouldn't see them as like black or white, anything. I knew people are around me and just literally freaked out and just ran out outside the house. I said, whoa! And my feeling was that people are literally waiting to the body, and I said, what's happening over here?
They won't do that.
Waiting
No,
to-
they can't enter into your body because your karma and their karma is different. But then there is truth that they would come. And that's the reason. That's the reason during when you start your recitation or when you're starting the discourses or whatever it is, there is this Samanta Chakkavalesu Atra Gachantu Devata. That one they recite is because you call the beings.
some of the, as long as there are some of them, which is good.
No, you don't know, right? They're beings as beings. So don't put it them a deva or a beast or whatever it is, right? So they are beings. So the beings exist everywhere as you exist in this body, so they exist without the body. There's nothing surprising about it, or there's nothing like startling or getting freaked out about it, because if you were to eject out of your body, where would we stay? You'll stay without body. Right? And that's it. And then you will get body whenever you are supposed to get the body. It's like going and booking your house. So now you wait for your turn to get the house. Like when my mother died, just a second, I'll just finish this story also, then you know everything about me. So when my mother died in the year 2017, she died on the road. She went to a temple, just collapsed there. So I was able to feel how she came back to her house without the body. Without the body. And I could see that. And then what I did on her dead body, when I was cremating, I told her, look, I'll take care of your son. Don't have to worry. You just go to the next existence. You don't stand here and wait at it. No point. There's no point in you staring at yourself now. You're out of this. Go to the next existence, which makes sense to you. Pick up the one which makes sense to you. Right? I never cried for my mother because there was no mother in the first place to cry. I was just trying to tell it that the way you should now proceed further. But I knew how she came inside house, trying to see. She is entering inside the room. There's no requirement of any keys or anything. She is feeling totally bewildered by what has happened to her. And that's the truth. And that's how it would be for any one of us. It won't be any different.
Actually, sorry. So from the first question I have asked, so I like you didn't say where this like when they are like leaving the body, where they belong, like unless they are not going to any other.
So
body.
there is like this, yeah. There's something called as there in the 10 Michya Ditti, there is one thing called as Paraloka. Okay, Paraloka is a temporary realm for every being which just waits for its turn. Except for being on the Deva realm, or on the Brahma realm, or on the Peta realm, meaning they become ghosts or something like that, or in the Niraya, which means hell realm, these beings don't have to wait. They just end here and establish there. As far as the human and the animal realm, they need to wait for some time before they get a proper place to stay.
Yeah, that place is a temporary place, and how long this can be, like how long they have to be, like it depends, or maybe
It depends on four conditions. One is the condition of its existence itself, meaning that nobody can say how long it can be because its existence. It's like it has to exhaust its energy of the past and then it can move forward. Why it can't exhaust of the past? Because it has these impressions of the past which will come as an hindrance to it. So it will not be able to let go. So it just suffers in abeyance. Okay. Now let's say it goes off its past, and then the new existence is like how you searched your house. How you searched your house. So you would be doing exactly the same thing. You keep on going around, seeing which makes sense to you. Right?
I would add this one in like Christianity, Judaism, and they have like a free state after the death. One is hell, if you consider that the four lower realm. One is the limbo land, and one is the heaven, the high above. The limbo land would be that one that
Correct.
I guess
Yes.
could be relevant. That all people, they don't know where they are, what they are doing, till the nation will be here somehow.
Yes, that's correct. Yes, Aryo.
I guess from this description you're giving, right? Some people, let's say, a princess is such a good condition, such a good home. A lot of beings would be wanting to go there, right? But the karma has to match, right? That's what you're saying. Without the karma matching, not everyone's have the criteria. It's like you don't have enough payment, right? You can want it, you can follow it, but you don't have the money to buy it.
Yes, absolutely. So if the deeds matches, instantaneously there can be a birth. If the deed doesn't match, doesn't. So nobody can conclusively say how long somebody has to wait, but there is, like Asad rightly pointing it out, in every religion, in every belief system, it tallies around there that you have a lower realm, you have a higher realm, you have an in between, which is waiting. It's just a, like a waiting hall before you get your visa. So you're just standing, I don't know how long, and then whether you land in Australia, you land in New Zealand, you land in India, you land nowhere. Depends on the visa, basically. So,
And I guess just like if you're a rich buyer, there's many houses you can choose.
but
If
you're poor.
Come as good. There's a lot of choices. I guess you would have more choices.
Like I can, Bobby, I can tell you from the experience I've had with this person who was there with me from 2013 July onwards till July 2022 is like 9 years. What I can tell out of that experience here is that he didn't wanted to take a birth, and that exactly tallies with what Buddha talks about vibhavatanaha. Bhavatanaha and vibhavatanaha. He craves for non-existence. So he says, I want to stay like this. And then his thinking is, he will temporarily take shelter in someone whom he thinks is capable of matching his skill. And he told me that your skill matches what I was looking at. So can I stay with you? I thought I'm hallucinating. I said, okay, do whatever you want. But little did I know that I have got surrounded myself in an issue. Because even during my childhood days, even my college days, I had these issues, basically. And then this created even more, not really an issue, because it's a nuisance. I can't do anything. This person blocks me from doing anything. Good news is that we never used to engage in sexual activity, so it was the best thing. Otherwise, it would have been the weirdest thing that this guy sits in front of me and says, do it. Now, what do I do? Nothing I can do, right? Yes, May, go ahead.
Did you give him permission? Is that why he was, when you said you could do anything, is that why he was able to enter you?
He asked for it. He said, look, I want to stay with you. And I was all along thinking that I'm just dreaming, hallucinating, because even my childhood days was like that. And then I used to feel that. In fact, since you opened this topic, when I was in my 15th year of life, okay, and then we were just playing, and then there was an aunt next door and she was talking. And suddenly a glass pane of my bedroom just broke into two parts. There was no air, there was nothing which would have done that. And the same night when I slept, I started having this hallucinating things around me, that somebody is coming and throwing me on the ground. And then when I really wake up and I'm on the ground, literally on the ground, I'm not on the bed any longer. It's outside, meaning I'm on the ground. Even so, even worse case is that I had this, my uncle had departed in the year 2002. 2000. So then my wife was pregnant in the year 2000, and she had gone to her house. So I was all alone in my parents' home, the upstairs I was staying, and the downstairs they were staying. So I was sleeping in the room, and I was feeling from the late night onwards, I started sensing and smelling like a corpse next to me. A swollen out corpse. And I just turned like this, and I'm really with a corpse. That's my uncle. Now, I'm in that house. I came running, and my mother was standing outside and she was brushing her teeth. I said, your brother is there. He said, what stupid, what in the morning you don't tell me all these funny things. I said, no, I'm telling you the truth. So he was sitting there. So then he sat on the stair. So I told her that, look, your brother is sitting here. I'm seeing him. He's sitting here. And he started being with us. To an extent that if I were to brush up, I go and start brushing my teeth, he used to say, brush it well, don't do this, don't do that, and all that. So then it's becoming overwhelming to me. So then I went and met my cousin, that is his son. And I told him that, look, your father is behind me. So we'll have to do something about it. And after we did many things, and then we couldn't see him again at our home, at least. I couldn't sense it. I couldn't any longer sense being there. So what does it prove? With Buddha Dhamma or without Buddha Dhamma, whatever it is, what does it prove? The being, when they come out, they don't have a house. That's true. And it will take them time before they can get whatever they can get. So in the meanwhile, they can ask, seek, or force, or whatever it is. It depends on the situation. Like what where you were saying, like, some place, and you just go there, and then there are beings, if they are of the torturous kind, and then you will have paranormal activities because your mind fits with them. So it would eventually be like that. Or if you have a very noble intention and all that, and only those beings can interact with you, and that also can happen. And then we can call them as a godly beings, or I saw one kind of being and then this kind of being, and it helped me and all that. That's true. So you will get all kind of things. But the prima facie thing is that you are accepting their invitation rather than they force fitting on you. And they would invite, for sure. And I've seen this in Indianapolis when we had gone to a bar, how they devour things. There was one guy who was having drinks crazily. He was drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking. I was wondering how is he able to drink. And we have stayed in that bar till approximately 2 a.m. We went at 6 p.m. in the evening, and we were there in the bar till 2 a.m. And I could see how this suddenly, if somebody enters, how that person starts gulping, is drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking, continuously drinking. It just, I was looking at him, how this being can really enter and enjoy this person. And what happened to him, I don't know, because we left ourselves, we were in a bad shape at 2 a.m. So it can happen.
So those kind of beings just enjoy the feeling that they are getting out of
Exactly.
that.
Yes.
They can't actually enjoy the material.
No. So you are engulfed with so many beings.
So is this is this experiences what you have, like, somebody was, is it when your mind is very developed, for example, your stage of mind now, is it with that type of mind that you can prevent this type of things happens, or it still?
Yes. No, you will not get this kind, meaning whatever I just now said. So you will have beings which will help you more than harming you more, because it's no being there. So the mind, right? Whatever we call being is nothing but so you can take it this way: contented mind and not contented mind, right? So the two things. Even today, as we all meeting, minusing the body, you're either contented or discontented, right? Both spiritually or materially or whatever it is, or emotionally, right? Supposing you were to eject out of the body, what would happen? You do the same. You still continue on that, right? Irrespective whether body or no body, that shouldn't be a way of measuring. Even today, we are all meeting because we have a same idea, correct? What if the idea is on investment, is an example. So the beings follow that, right? That means there should be greed, there should be hatred, there should be delusion, and then you have that. Here we have these beings who are wanting to come out of greed, hatred, and delusion. So now a being which has come out of the body, where it would go, if you were to ask that question, depends on whether it is wanting greed, hatred, delusion, or it is wanting out of greed, hatred, delusion. Right? So just, yes, go ahead.
So that means when the mind is more and more developed, you kind of get those type of beings who help you in that direction.
Exactly.
Not this you would,
I will.
So, yes,
I will
so
give you
when-
even more practical example. Forget the dead beings. Let us take only the living beings, right? Now, you watch a YouTube video. I'm not talking about the worldly kind. I'm talking about the Buddha Dhamma itself. Isn't that your mind is getting pulled away by that? Right? Are you pulled away? No. Your body stays there only. But isn't the mind established there? Yes or no? It is established. What if it were death? Meaning, the mind has already gone. Now the consciousness, the conscious experience is already there. Only the life faculty ends there, right? The life faculty ends. So then what happens? The mind has already got established there, right? Agree with me? So you feel either charged up when you come back to the body, when you are hearing to that discourse or something, and then when you come back, don't you feel charged up? And the answer is yes. Why? Because from the mind, the raga, dvesha, moha went away. So you feel lighter, right? Now, you would like now, you means that mind would like to establish anidasana, it's now nidasana. Into what? Into those kind of environment. Yes? Even if somebody were to say, Bobby, today being Saturday, so let's go and play some golf or something. Okay, let's have a cards game. What do you think? And the mind wouldn't accept to that. Right? Because you feel repelled by that. Right? Instead of that, you'll say, okay, let me listen to some more things rather than playing. That means the mind is establishing where? Mind is establishing in this side. It's not establishing in that side. So it's just ejecting out of the body than anything else which is happening. Because right now also you're doing the same thing. As we speak, you're doing the same thing. So how different that is? It's the same thing. There's no difference. It's just continuity, right? So there's a continuity for existence. There's a continuity for
so
non-existence.
that means, some positive beings are helping us even now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you think you're doing it all alone, then you're mistaken. Now, why we require others' help? I can counter-argue it. I don't require anybody's help because I have not seen all these people sitting next to me. If it is...
We have that self-view still. We still have that self-view.
Yes. So when you let go of the self-view, you will see that you are not alone. You are having a tons of beings which are either with you or against you. So your mind will get tuned automatically to take this or do this. So you are always influenced. See the advertisements, how does it get influenced? They keep on playing again and again and again till you get influenced by that. In the same way, the beings are influencing. And I and you are influencing each other as we speak right now also. Right? We are, all of us are influencing each other. So why should we then think that after coming out of the body, we are not influencing? What makes us feel like that? It's a continuity game. You continue.
It's always happening. Always happening.
It's always happening. So the daughter, what you have, is influencing you even with the body. You think she will not influence without the body? Mirin, who is your wife, isn't she influencing you? She is. Aren't you influencing them? You are. As we speak. So that's all what it is. So the consciousness has all the four all the time. So it is aware, it feels, it perceives, it experiences. This is the first thing I need to see in the conscious experience. When I say I'm conscious, what is the meaning of that? That you have pure awareness, you have a feeling, you have a perceiving, and your experience. And that you is that experience which takes you to there, from here to there. With the Buddha Dhamma, what are we doing? We are cutting off here and there. Na idha, na hura, na ubhayam antare. That means neither here nor there, or never in between also. That would end the movement of the consciousness into something. So it gets extinguished right there. That is parinibbana. And the nibbana is ending of this conditionality. You just become a witness, awareness, just an awareness. So in the Goenka teaching also, he would say, don't react to the sensation, don't react to sensation, don't react to sensation. Why? Because reaction is our second nature. That is what establishes. It is nidasana, because consciousness has the ability to establish. So when you try doing that, non-reaction is anidasana. That means you are not getting established. You're just watching. Pain is a pain. Pleasure is a pleasure. Sensation is sensation. Hot is hot. Cold is cold, like that. So you're relieving yourself from the conditionality. So it's peaceful. Any confusions?
So that means you come into that unconditionality, or unestablished mind by establishing. Like you keep on watching, and even if you are not craving, you try to be equanimous. By that process only, that unestablished mind will come out like automatically, right? We can't
Yes.
just perceive it or anything.
No. So consciousness is neither established nor unestablished. Consciousness has got no role to play in that, right? But to understand, you need to have an unestablished consciousness is one thing, established is another thing. Established in six senses is the established consciousness, which is what we are trying to get rid of. We are not trying to establish in the unestablished. Then it again becomes an established consciousness. So it's like, I want to attain Nibbana I want to establish in unestablished, which cannot happen. So ending of craving, ending of grasping, ending of existence, ending of contact, ending of feeling is Nibbana. What do you mean by ending? There's no establishment. The consciousness is not getting established somewhere. Now I can say in the womb means where? So let's say I have visited US. If somebody talks about Indianapolis or Chicago, or they talk about Atlanta, or they talk about Denver, they talk about, let's say, Seattle, my mind, that means the consciousness, will just eject out and get established where? In Indianapolis, in the state of Indiana. If somebody talks to me on Purdue University, all the chittas of Purdue University will just come. And we were in Purdue University. That's true. Nobody can take it away from me. And somebody from Microsoft were to talk about Visual Studio in Redmond. And then I was in Redmond, I was in Microsoft, I was in Visual Studio, building number 3, 10th floor. If they say that, I'm in 10th floor, and all of that at the very moment. So isn't that the mind is established there? While the body is sitting in Bangalore, where is the mind now? Mind is in Redmond already, in the Visual Studio building. And if somebody says that, Vilas, you remember, we went to the top of the Seattle. So, Space Needle. If somebody says Space Needle, I'm in Space Needle. If somebody says, we visited Boeing, I'm in Boeing. How was the baseball between this team and that team? In fact, I've collected all the caps of all the teams. I used to be a crazy person at one point in time. Okay. And my wife used to call me a very crazy person because I used to collect all of these funny things. So when I come from the US, I'm bringing all baseball caps and football caps as though I'm become an American, right? Now, you have to drop. Okay, carry on. Bye-bye. Good night. So the basic thing, if you were to see, isn't the mind established there, or the consciousness, isn't it established there? It is. So if somebody talks about baseball, I'm in baseball game. If somebody talks about football, I'm in the football game. If they talk about Colts, which is the Indianapolis team versus some other team in Atlanta or wherever it is, in that team. So it just gets established. And then all the memories will come at once. So isn't it that at this moment, as I speak about US, is the mind, has it not got established? And the answer is yes. And the job is to not make this mind get established in America. Because now when I eject out of this body, meaning this is my last words, and then the death came, that means the Jivitindriya has to depart. Then what happens? The six senses along with this Jivitindriya now move where? Where is the destination? The destination is US. Where else? Now I have to search for the father and the mother. But my karma doesn't take me to US. Then what happens? I'm in between. Neither in this body nor in that body. And now I'm roaming around to see how do I get to US without visa. So then if it's conceived in somebody's womb and they come out, I come out, and then what happens? I have the passport of United States of America. So what did I do? A very trivial thing. I lost one life for a very trivial existence. Now I have to find the food, shelter, clothing, medicine, then the family, then blah, blah, blah. Had I ever knew that is a pain I need to take by establishing, I wouldn't have established in the first place, which is what Nibbana is all about. So as we speak, we are established there. Let's say Assad calls me to Wellington, and I love Wellington, the environment, the climate, and so many things. Or I want to get into this stargazing. There are a lot of colors, auroras. So I would love to be there. So New Zealand is known for that. Australia is known for that. Alaska is known for that. So why don't I go and come after this body, come and suffer. Yes. Yeah, Bobby, go ahead.
So, Vilas, you are talking about that realms, where you are in between realms. So you have to have those karmas to be born again as human beings or animals. Otherwise, you will go straight down to hell or...
No. For everything, you require the seeds, right? So now I'll tell you what. So how do you get into the hell realm? So out of 10 immoral deeds, many of the other immoral deeds you have to do. There are people who torture their mothers and fathers. So first you have to start with that. And they are never happy in this life. Meaning they keep on complaining about any damn thing, whether it works, doesn't work. You will see some people with whom if you stay, you feel drained of your energy. And if you have such people, you would feel like going out of there. Even today as we speak. And where are they going? And they heat you up. So they are getting heated up. So hell is something which heats you up. So aren't they heating themselves up? And the answer is yes. And you are trying to cool yourself down. So now you tell me, should you be with a heating person or you should be with a cooling person? Now, let's say you are by some bad thing, you are with a heating person, but that doesn't mean that you are going to go, right? That person is going, but he is creating heat for you, generating heat. So if somebody is generating heat, it means they are going towards that existence which is burning, and they are burning all the time. And you know it, they are burning. You don't have to use some kind of psychic power to see that they are not burning. They are burning, right? You can see. Now, they will do like that. They will kill, they will do all kind of things because they don't know what they are doing. And you just have to watch because they are going there. And in the same way, there will be people whom you meet, you would love to stay with them. And they make you feel really cool because they're going up. And you know it. It makes your mind calm. And when the mind is calm, you're going to a place which is better. If the mind is getting agitated, you know it's going downwards. You don't have to tell because the consciousness knows it. It's aware. It already knows it. You don't have to teach the consciousness what it should be conscious of. It knows it. So you know it. It doesn't matter which religion, which tradition, what you belong to, but you know this much because consciousness is always aware. So you yourself knows that whether this mind is going to the hell realm or to the heaven realm, you yourself know it. Based upon what it is taking. Am I sounding logical or am I sounding really philosophical?
I think you answered very well. Like in every suttas, it ends like magnificent Gautama, magnificent. You made it upright.
Yes. Yeah.
Like that, yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Sure.
It's really good.
Yeah. I don't want to turn philosophical, and then there is no difference between other people and me, because then if I'm also philosophical, then it makes no sense.
You are very direct. So I think this is the confusions. I think I had. So it's some clarity to that.
Yeah, see, we don't have to believe in the next life or not believe at all or the past life. As we are doing what we are doing, we can really see where you are getting established. You can literally see it. Okay, it's no miracle.
That type of knowledge makes you more careful about our present, what we are to do now.
Exactly. See, the very fact you are with Janak or Janak is with you or all of us being with each other, what are we trying to do? There are minds. How many minds are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Janak's family all are there. So many minds are there, right? What are we doing at this point? Can you just think?
We are connecting with the like-minded people.
No, you are on the Dhamma for the entire 2.5 hours, 2 hours now. Started 8:30, now it's 10:30 in India. Did you feel we have covered 2 hours? No. But where did the mind exist now? Dhamma. Is it making the mind painful or pleasurable? Pleasurable. Is it a worldly pleasure or is it not a worldly pleasure?
Not a worldly pleasure.
Not a worldly pleasure. Now, if you were to die this moment, where you would be reborn?
Hopefully into a...
Not hopefully. Wherever the mind is strong now.
In a pleasurable life.
So if you were to be an anagami, let's say, we get charged up by that word anagami. Why? Because it's heavenly. Aren't you feeling that right now? And if the answer is yes, and you were to develop that all the time, and that's it, you are not going to come back to the womb existence. It's as simple as that. It's nothing miracle in Buddha Dhamma. It's knowledge rather than being into some kind of weird miracles or psycho things or psychic things happening. It's pure wisdom, or rather logical way of seeing things. If the mind is established in this, it will go there. If the mind is established in this, it will go there. If the mind is not established in anything, it will extinguish there. A very simple thing. That's no brainer. But since it is new for us, we feel, wow, I need to be there. I need to be. No, you just watch. If the mind is consistently on some object, some sensual object, it is established there. So anidasana is not happening, nidasana is happening. It's established in that. It is illustrated in that. Now, if the mind is unestablished, it's done. Okay, it's established in Dhamma. Great, anagami. You will not come to the womb existence. So if we develop this, you will know that you are reached anagami. There's nothing like somebody has to come and tell you, Bobby, I think, in my strong opinion, I think, what is there to think? You are either an anagami or not an anagami. If you expect somebody to come and tell you you're an anagami or not, or a sotapanna or not, or this or that, not, then the mind is deflected. It's like going here, there. Just relax and see. Where's the mind getting established right now for you? Or the consciousness getting established? In Dhamma. And that's it, over. Doesn't matter. Whether you do Goenka, you follow this or that, it doesn't matter. All are Dhamma only. Yes, May, go ahead.
Might be sidetracking a little bit, but is there ways for us to experience Kalapas everywhere?
Yes, there is. There are three ways of experiencing Kalapa. One way is the Goenka technique. That is a sure shot technique if you were to do it properly, but I don't know when that is going to happen. Even Goenka cannot come and promise you that in this retreat this is going to happen. It depends on the state of the mind. What is a Kalapa? Kalapa is basically about it. You will come to have a knowledge that this solid body is not solid. Okay. This is the first thing. And it's from a word, it's from actually Visuddhi Magga as well as Abhidhamma. In the suttas, it is Shuddhashtaka, which is Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo, Varna, Rasa, Gandha, Oja. So that is the Rupa, the basic form, where it keeps on. At one time it looks hot, and another time it looks cold. In one time it looks solid, in another time doesn't look solid. And that is Kalapa, which is going around and round and round. This is the first way of doing is the Burmese method. Whether you're following this side or that side or whatever it is, it works because they have created a nice thing over there on the body contemplation. Then there is Thai meditation technique, which you are following, and then it's all about breath. In the breath also there is Kalapa. Kalapa doesn't mean that only in this body sensation there's Kalapa. The Kalapa is there everywhere. So whether you take breath or you take body sensation, they both ultimately end up in finding out Kalapa. Third way of seeing Kalapa is through Sutta, which you can do it all the time. Meaning you don't have to watch the breath or watch this. You can be doing whatever you're doing and you are with Kalapa all the time. So there are three ways of seeing Kalapa. So whether you go by tradition, then Thai tradition and Goenka tradition or the Ubakin or the Sayadaw tradition basically helps you in that. Yes, go ahead.
That feeling with Kalapa, still also seeing Kalapa, is it like the environment around you?
No. When you experience Kalapa, now these four things are there in consciousness. That's the reason I brought in consciousness today. You are aware of Kalapa. No hallucination, no imagination. You know there is Kalapa. Number one, you know it for yourself. Okay? That's the first, that's the awareness. Then there is a feeling of Kalapa. There's a perception of Kalapa. There's an experience of Kalapa. Now, whoever has experienced with the Goenka technique, ultimately he says, I had an experience of Kalapa. That means in the consciousness, awareness, two is feeling, perception, experience, all the four. So the consciousness knows what it is holding is just matter per se. Okay? Like I said, whether you follow the breath meditation, you follow the sensation meditation or whatever it is, doesn't matter. What you take doesn't matter. It's not about imagining, oh, this is Patavi, this is Patavi, this is Apo, that's not the way it is. Okay? So you have to come out of that. just watch the feeling or the sensation. The word sensation is a wrong word. You just see the feeling of heaviness, lightness, and then this heat, cold, throbbing, all of that is a feeling. So there's an awareness of that, and there's a feeling of it, which makes it perceiving it. And after some time, it becomes a free flow. That means there won't be any place from head to toe and toe to head where there are no feelings of these things happening. And after that, it stops. And you feel just the vibrations, just vibration, just vibration, just vibration, just vibration. The whole body vibrates so much. That stage when you can discern, that is, you means that consciousness now can discern. This is Patavi. Aha, this is Apo. This is Tejo. This is Vayo. This is Akasa. 5. And they keep on going here, there, here, there, here, there, like a particle. So you get into a particle state of mind where you're watching everything moving around you, but you're just there. And then what happens? It's called bhanga. What is bhanga means? Dissolution. It's entirely get dissolved. No external, no internal. Then what happens? If you were to persist far enough, the eye sense door closes, ear sense door closes, nose sense door closes, tongue sense door closes, body sense door closes, mind sense door closes, and you are in complete, call it samadhi, and that is nibbana. Now when they say you come back, means you again come back to see this Kalapa stage and all that, and then you're sitting and you know you have achieved that. So you are a changed person now. You know that is unconditioned. This is conditioned. This happens with the Ubakin / Goenka tradition. Now you take Ajahn tradition. Ajahn Amaro, Ajahn Cha, Ajahn this, Ajahn that, whatever tradition, and you are on the breath. Same thing. In a different way. This approach was on the whole body from top to bottom, bottom to top, and sideways, this way, that way, all that. Here you are going by just basic breath to achieve the same point, that this is Kalapa. Second way. Third way, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. You have discerned all the 5. Done. You have seen the Kalapa, you have seen the feeling, you have seen the perception, you have seen the Sankhara, you also experienced, which is Vijnana, basically. So ultimately, which way you take, you have to stick on to that. Now, the question is, or the limitation here is, in the Goenka technique, you have to sit 10 days, 20 days, 30 days, 45 days, 60 days in one place. What when you are not doing it? Can you experience? No. Then you have to again go to the same place to do that. Is there a way of doing it? Yes, because this is 24/7 effort. So then how should I do it? Well, then come to Sutta. Then you get there. So, there's nothing wrong with the Goenka technique. There's nothing wrong with Ajahn technique. They have found it, but need not be that should work out for you. So you have to take that, then see from Sutta how you can make this possible. And then you can see the Kalapa. In whichever way you go, you will find the Kalapa. Yes. Yes, Bobby.
So when you say like you come to the sutta, then practically, essentially you mean when you leave us not in a retreat atmosphere, like you are trying to say that like you are aware of basically every activity, right? So how that connects with you when you say you come to sutta?
How it connects? Good question. So how it connects is that now you are coming on the 5 aggregates. The whole Buddha Dhamma, if you were to condense it, it comes to 5 aggregates. Right? Agree? If you are able to see the Kalapa of what you were seeing in the Goenka technique or in some other tradition or technique, now you are able to see this in the whole body, right? Even while we talk, but the method will be slightly different. Like you have got conditioned to that method, you have to work out on this method, the Sutta method. right? Let's say if you were to work out a Sutta method, would there be any difference between that method and this method? No. The only difference it would be that in that method you are doing as a sitting meditation, here you are doing in all postures. Meaning you are same awareness, right? Awareness, there's no change, right? There's also awareness, here also awareness. There's a feeling of Kalapa, here also the feeling of Kalapa. Here is a perception of Kalapa, here is a perception of Kalapa. There's an experience of Kalapa, here is an experience of Kalapa. But here you have to do something to get there. Here you are just watching it to get there. But actually both are same. Goenka also says, just be a witness, just be an observer, don't do anything. Don't interact, don't react to the feelings, don't react to the pain, don't react to throbbing, don't react to anything at all. Correct? And the same thing you're doing it here. But through Sutta way, that's all. Here it is all the time, there you have to go into the retreat. So you have to only change your perspectives. You don't have to drop what you have learned. You can use it. You can use that tool. Slightly change your perspective. And when you change your perspective, you can reuse that tool itself. That is Samatha, whatever Goenka has taught, that you keep it. The Vipassana part, you now go on the entire 5 aggregates as opposed to the body sensation. That's all. Okay, that doesn't undermine Goenka what he has taught, or the Ubakin or the Sayadaw technique. Yes, Janak, go ahead.
Yeah, so that is what we need to practice, like, the way, because we started and we were supposed to do the same thing on Saturday. That's what you say.
Yes, today.
Yeah.
Today we are doing.
Yes. So we have to do that because, that's the only, for now, like, what do you call the assurance we think, like, if we continue doing this throughout the day, instead of sitting into this,
Yeah, today. So let me, since you asked this, we were supposed to sit and do it. So what's the first thing? First thing you need to do is exactly in whichever tradition you follow is to have a samatha. And for samatha, you need to watch the breath. There's no other samatha other than breath meditation. So we will be talking some nonsense thing without breath, right? So you need to go by the breath. Whether you are following Goenka technique, you are following Sutta technique, you are following Ajahn technique or whatever technique, it's breath. Main thing is breath. Why? Because breath connects both mind and the body. So you need to go with breath. So first thing, you need to have a good hold over the breath. So this discourses thing, what we are doing is to bring the breath into a very calm state of the mind. It's called Savitakka Savichara. So now we have done that. So we have debated what we should do, and then we have now thought about this. So now the mind is in a very peace state at this time if you were to do it. So now your mind is ready. And this is Samatha. Now we come to the Vipassana part of it. When you want to do Vipassana, in this, not the Goenka method, not the Ajahn or some other method, it's the Sutta way of seeing it. How should I do it? How should I approach in the first place? Take this object, 5 senses which are there in the face only. Isn't it true that all the 5 senses are there in the face? 2 eyes are here, 2 ears are here, nose is also here, tongue is also here, face, skin, right? It is there, right? Forget the below part of the body at this point in time. Just this face. Aren't we very careful about our face? Meaning, we want to protect the face, right? If somebody wants to eat, what do? Have you seen that? Have you seen that? It's a reflex action to save anything happening to the face. Yes?
yes.
We don't mind getting hit in the leg or in wherever it is, but not the face. So the moment you try doing it, the person will hold the face. Now, which of the senses is stronger for you? Is the eye sense door stronger? The ear sense door stronger? Nose sense door stronger? Tongue sense door stronger? Or the body sense door which is stronger? That means body sense door means a person will be looking at his skin or her skin every few minutes. How am I looking? Right? That means he is very occupied with the body. Right? Now what do you have to do? Keeping the breath there, you have already established, like what you are doing with Goenka technique. You are keeping the breath there and watching the sensation appearing in the body. Yes or no? If you are getting worked up, what do you do? He says, come back to the breath. Correct?
Yes.
In the same way, watch. Don't do anything. Watch. What is this body? So now you just sit here, open the eyes. How you were doing in that? You're closing your eyes and watching the sensation coming on the head, back, like that. You're doing that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Same method, instead of on the sensation of the body, you watch what is the body. So then what you will find, right now, there is a sweat feeling, at least in me, because I've switched off the fan, because May said there is some sound coming in. So from the last 2+ hours, I'm drenched in sweat. Right? Now, is it my sweat? No. What is sweat? Water is coming. So can I see water coming out of a solid body? Can I watch it? Be with that only. Then you see fire there. There's a heat. As soon as the heat increases, water increases. And the air expands it. Air keeps on expanding. So you feel air outside, air inside. Heat outside, heat inside. Sweat outside. Sweat means water droplets outside, water droplets inside. Like a sponge being pressed and the water is coming. Is it just in the face I'm getting sweat? No. From the tip of the toe to the tip of my head is wet. Not only that, along with that, the grease is also coming. Am I able to see it? Yes, oil is coming. Why would an oil come? Because as soon as it gets heated up, the fat also will get coming out, because fat is semi-solid. So when it gets heated up, from the pores, the fat also comes out. So what did you see now? Saw the water coming out. You saw the fat coming out, which is part of what? Apo dhatu. Okay? Keep it. Is there any solidity now? Yes. But are you feeling solidity? No. You're feeling more liquid. Yes or no?
Yes.
So what happened to the solid?
It's melting.
Exactly.
Converting, yeah.
So now are you able to see the Kalapa? Two Kalapas. Which Kalapa?
Yes, it's a Prithvi is turning it.
No. It's Apo and Tejo.
Mhm.
Are you feeling solid?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You're feeling heated up and you're feeling
Yeah,
sweaty.
sweat is coming, yeah.
Sweaty. So 2 Kalapas have you found?
Yes.
Sure. Any doubt?
No doubt.
Do you have to sit for 10 hours to get this?
No, really.
Not really. Can you stay with this for a long period of time? For that, sati is required. Even for Goenka technique, you require sati. Even for Ajahn technique, you require sati. For this also, you require sati. Sati means mindfulness. You need to be mindful that this is sweat which is not my sweat. The sweat which is coming along with fat is getting watered away. Now you found 2. Do you feel movement or not?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it could be in the form of itching and
Yes. All the other condition like itching, it's moving, right? And it's rubbing. Your rubbing means what? Heat. Right? I'm rubbing like this. Then I take a handkerchief and the movement, right? As soon as there is a movement, what happens? the air comes in. At that moment, you'll not feel the wetness. Have you seen that? You would feel only the air. But where's the wetness? Wetness is gone. Now, if somebody blows, the fan is blowing, then what happens to the wetness?
Feeling dried and feeling cold. Yeah.
Use the word dry, D-R-Y. Dryness is part of Patvi. So what is happening? You are cooling down the heating system. So it again condenses back. Then there is no sweat.
Yeah.
For that moment.
Okay.
Switch off the fan, sweat. Switch on the fan. Can you rely on this then? No. And hence it is anicca. Or anitya, whatever you want to keep that as. Now you got anitya. So what Goenka says, anitya bodh, anitya, anitya, anicca, anicca. Got it. You didn't require 10-day retreat to do this. Why? Because you already know it. You don't have to keep on going to the retreat and sitting for 10 days like this. You don't have to do that. You can do it now wherever it is, however it is. Don't make it a habit. Don't get addicted to it. Now you discern it. You have learned it. Now you discern it. So at this point in time, if I were to do like this, there is water. There's water. So the whole body has become water. So where is Vilas? Water. Shocked now.
It
Yes.
is very hard from that, very strict conditionality which we were made of in that 10 days to unconditionalize. It's almost like defreezing, refreezing.
Yeah,
We just have to
that's
get
correct.
that out of our system. It's very hard.
Yes, that is required. See, Goenka technique and May follows Jan's technique. It's required. But once we come to some level, that tool is no longer required. Take everything as a tool, including Buddha Dhamma is a tool. Don't take it too personally to yourself. It's a tool. Tool for getting liberated. And that's all. Liberation is in the mind. So you have to get liberated of this kalapa in the mind. So now I am seeing if Vilas feeling comes, it's Apo Dhatu right now. Tejo Dhatu right now. Nothing else is there. No Vilas exists. What will you call this Vilas? Right now, sweaty person, right? And thanks to May, it's now 34 degrees centigrade in this room. And I'm watching the sweat come by. And I'm not putting on the fan because that is going to stop me from enjoying the Kalapas. I'm watching the Kalapa. While I'm still talking to you, as I talk to you, so much sweat is coming. So I saw Apo Dhatu, Tejo Dhatu, Vayu Dhatu, last Dhatu, which is in a very reduced state is Patavi. I am not feeling solid. Right? Four Dhatu means quality I have seen now. In the Chitta, in the consciousness. I saw all the four. Now, if there is Apo, isn't having rasa? Yes. Just do like this. You get some greasy kind of substance. We rub it so much that we don't really feel what we are doing. Don't rub. Just take like this and do this. You'll see a pasty thing coming. If there is Apo, there is rasa. If there is Tejo, there is nutriments, which is ojas. All plants or living organisms require warmth for it to grow, for it to mature. So we are having Tejo, which has heat as well as maturity. So if I were to ask this question, direct question to all of you, Am I young or old? What would you answer?
Young, because you are of the same age as us. We want to say young.
You want to say young? Okay. On what basis do you call me young, and what basis do you call me old?
Comparison.
Comparison.
Yeah, comparison. What are you
I
comparing?
recently had an experience with Janak's son. Janak, if you permit me, I'll tell that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I was talking to his son about son's friend's mother died, and that lady was 55 or something like that.
You're 62. 62, yeah.
Oh, she's 62. Okay, so she was. I thought he told me 50.
Yeah. So that
In his
time, it
50s.
was shocking.
So I asked him, so Raja, like, what was that lady old or young? Then he said old.
Yes, old,
And then
52.
yeah, and then I was thinking, and then I asked him like, so what is the age? And I think he told me something like in her 50s. Then I was thinking, oh, so that means Raja is thinking. No, this is not just about Raja. Just like even the teenage people, they are thinking that we are old, but in our heart, we are not old. We are young.
Yes. You are 50 plus year young.
Yeah.
Right.
Still going young.
Still going young. Who is feeler? Consciousness is the feeler. It doesn't have death. Hence it feels always existing. Now what did you find? If you were to say, Vilas, you look young, should I take that compliment and say, Vilas, you're looking young? Or if somebody says that, Vilas, it's very clear, you are an old person. Then I take a bottle of rum or whatever and I start drinking out of. I'm an old person, man. They put me in old age. So bad. Very bad. What should I do? No. The Kalapas, if you see, the mind automatically can discern. There is no old nor young. Like May had asked, is consciousness elusive? It's not the consciousness which is elusive. It's the Rupa which is elusive. So there is an elusiveness of the Rupa which makes everybody perceive in their own way. So if I see Bobby and I and Bobby of the same age and his mustache is, or his beard and mustache is reasonably white and grayed out, and if I do like this, I'm having little bit but not that much of Bobby's. So what is the feeling? I feel young. And Bobby said he's 50, but I'm 52. Shouldn't I feel proud about it? That 2 years elder, I still look better. But then Bobby might say, hey, my dear friend, I have hairs. You don't have. Come on, see this. I have hairs on my head. Then I'll compare with Janak. You see, Janak doesn't have, even I don't have, but I look better than Janak. Right? Now between Janak and me, I'll throw out Bobby for a second and then say that, oh, okay, I and Janak. And Janak also says, Vilas, you look much younger than me. Then what happens? Now we don't question, are we Kalapas? First place to take it young and old? There's no young, nor it is old. It's the way it is. They just come and go. Tell me one thing, Mirin. In all your life, you have seen Bobby. Did he take a white paint, and put some paint there to make it some here white and there white and all that? No. He can take a dye from a shop and then make it black, because he always thought that beard has to be black. Yes, because
I can, since we are talking that, I can show you, like when I switch off the video, I think some photo will come.
Yes.
So that is that is me 1 year back, So I was started growing the beard.
Yeah. So how did you change? You didn't change. The Kalapas are moving. You are just a witness to that. So this way of seeing will make like this. So now I'll give you the formula. In the Rupa, it's Kalapa. In the Vedana, it is what? Anicca. For Anicca Sanya to happen, you need to have what? Upekka. So Vedana should be Upekka, equanimity. The answer, I mean, if you have a question, as an answer is, if you're doing the discernment, you should see whether in the feeling, you're not getting Sukha Vedana or Dukkha Vedana, you're getting equanimous. You're feeling equanimous to the condition. That means Vedana should be Upekka. And then the Sanya, perception, becomes Anicca. Meaning, arising and passing away. The beard arised and you shave it, goes away. Again it comes, again shave, goes away. So the Kalapas are coming, to do whatever you're doing, goes away. So you don't have anything to do with it. Right? So then we saw Sanya. Sankhara is Samatha. You keep on doing whatever you are doing to the body, it doesn't stay. I have taken bath, but I switched off the fan. Did the sweat ask me permission? Hey Vilas, just want to ask you one thing. Shall I make it wet? Because you just now took the bath. I'm just asking you. No. Heat comes, sweat comes. Remove the heat, sweat is gone. But don't be under illusion that the sweat is not at all there. So samatha means you bring a samatha, equanimity to any sensation. Don't just do it because you have to do something, but don't do it with intention. So sankhara, sabba sankhara samatho. Then the vinyana, you remove the nama and rupa. Then the very instant you are in nibbana. So when you start with kalapa, the feeling changes. The feeling changes, the perception changes. And the perception changes, the sankhara will not be there. The sankhara is not there. The vijnana gets pure. And when the vijnana gets pure, it's in nibbana. So what you went to Ajahn or to Goenka or to whatever to get it, you are doing the 5 aggregates meditation. Watching the Kalapas first. What is coming? What is coming? At this point, what is coming? What is coming? Heat is coming. Oh, heat is coming. Oh, at this point, cold is coming. Cold is coming. At this time, I'm seeing this. I'm seeing this. I'm hearing this. I'm hearing this. I'm tasting this. I'm tasting this. I'm smelling this. I'm smelling this. I'm touching this. I'm touching this. I'm having thoughts of this. I'm having thoughts of this. You are not participant. You are observer. So to do that observation, first you have to learn Kalapa. So Goenka does it well. In the Burmese tradition, it's very well explained. It's a good one. Same with Ajahn. I'm not having any differentiation there. So you learn. Now you sit down, relax. Now you learned enough. Now take the sutta, because that's there with you all the time. Yes, Mirin, go ahead.
So when you said about the Kalapa, what you are experiencing right now, last year, about like that you're not feeling the earth element much as the other elements, like you're feeling more like the heat and the air element. Is that because your focus and your attention is more onto that and not?
Your observation is on that. No focus, no attention.
Your observation is on the.
Always remember, if you focus, it gets tired. Like May used to ask me this question, Vilas, I'm doing patavi, but no, that is focusing. You don't get anything out of it. Ultimately, the mind starts wobbling here and there and it feels that, what is that I'm doing? I'm not getting it. So it gets totally disturbed. Focusing and attention is initial stages, very initial. Like, I've now not done even a single retreat of anybody's. I need to have focus and attention. So I need to listen to Goenka, what he says, or to Ajahn Amaro, Ajahn Brahma, Ajahn Lee, or whoever, Ajahn Cha, or whatever it is. And I'm listening, and then I need to focus my attention. See, with the focus, there is attention. Let me explain to you in a very nice way. Camera. Aren't you focusing? Yes. When you focus, only that much is there, right? So the attention is to whatever you are clicking. Can you know the other things? No. Here again, you are doing that much. Why? Because your mind is going everywhere. So you focus. Focus on the breath. Why? That is required. Without that, you can't. Yes, but that is not the end of it. Focus. Now you spread out. Goenka does what? He says, first start here, then see everywhere. Then when you're starting Vipassana, start from here, spread it, spread it, spread it, spread it, spread it. Why? You're coming out of focusing and attention, you're coming into observation, right? Don't focus. Little bit of focus, little bit, starting point, samatha, focus. Concentrate, concentrate, concentrate. Why? Because the mind will run away. Concentrate. Once you know you're focused and attended, close the camera. Don't keep on that shutter mode. Let me click. What are you clicking? Ultimately, mind will run away because you are not clicking anything there. You are focusing. I focus. Hey, my guru has said, focus. How much will you focus? You get tired. It's not attending to will get you there. It's not attending to also. You should attend to as well as non-attended. You should focus and learn to defocus. So now you just sit like this. You don't require camera now. Just sit. Now the Kalapas can be seen because you are observing. Observation is sakshi, witness. Just observe. And Goenka technique also is what? Observation. Just observe. Observe at this moment what is coming. Pain is coming. Pain where? In the hands, in the legs, in the torso. But when you finish scanning and come back to that place, pain has disappeared. In some other place it has appeared, but in that place it is no longer there. So what did you do? You did not put your attention there. You just acknowledge that there is a pain. But you are putting all your focus here, defocus, focus, defocus, focus, defocus, going. And when it comes to the, let's say, knee area, you find no pain there. Then that doesn't stop you from, you just stop for a moment. See, there's no pain. Okay, proceed. Come to the feet. Now from the feet, again, cut various parts, part by part, you come up. So you're doing focus, you're defocusing. Focus, defocus. Focus, defocus. And when what he calls a dhara, pravaha or free flow, you stop both. No concentration, no focus. It flows everywhere. And now you enjoy the ride. No need to focus. No need to concentrate. That's it. Enjoy the ride. After some time, again grossness comes in. Heaviness has come. What Goenka does is he puts that as a sankhara. Because he can't explain further. Because there are people who are starting in 10-day retreat. There are people who are proficient also. So then if he puts all of this, then they get totally muddled up. So he says sankharas are coming out. As much sankhara comes out, so much is a relief. It's true. Why? Because the kalapas are going away, which will cleanse your mind from defilement. You are holding on to the kalapas. You relieve. So then heaviness comes. Heavy means real heavy. You feel, oh, I'm tired. Oh. Just watch.
Is that because we are achieving a certain threshold, like, the way how you get that the threshold increases and increases
Absolutely.
Yeah?
So first the initial things comes out and then free flow. After that, the inside whatever is there, right, that also will start coming out on the surface. Now the basic intention of the mind is to react to that sensation. Now you are not reacting to it. You're just watching, watching, watching. It comes, becomes very heavy, very painful. And then you remember Goenka's words. Oh, Goenka said that keep watching, sankharas are coming, sankharas are going, sankhara, anicca sankhara. Okay, sankharas are coming. And you believe in the teacher, because this is where the teacher help is required. So then you say, Goenka ji has put everything, so now I sit. And then the heaviness goes away. So you feel sankharas went. No, the Patavi came, the Patavi left. Apo came, Apo left. Same thing. If you don't put sankhara, what will he do? Because the 10-day course is a representative of the entire thing. So he has to say that. Otherwise, people will get completely confused. In the 10-day, 20 days, 20 days, 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, it's the same thing. But there are, you get more and more information in each one of these 20, 30 like that. But basically the information is the same. Doesn't change. So what I did there, I put my 5 aggregate meditation. That's all. Except for the first day where I got irritated with Goenka's voice, the 6:30 to 8, 6 to 6:30, that's it. After that, done. Yes. Yeah, May, I think you wanted to speak. No, okay.
So it's almost like the gate theory of pain. Like, you just, the gate theory, Vilasji. Like you get more pain on something else. Like, we give sterile water injection for the pain,
Yes.
for the laboring women.
Yes, I know that.
And so they'll forget the pain in the front, and they experience the pain at the back and the shooting pain, and then immediately the pain stops for some time. For 2 hours, there's a relief.
Yes.
And then again the pain comes.
Yes.
And then again we give the injection.
Correct.
It's the same pattern.
It's the same pattern. Continue. So when you react to the pain seems to have departed, but it'll come with double energy now. So your observation is just observation, just observation, just observation. There's nothing else to be done except for observation. No focusing, no attention. No. Initially, focus and attend. After you have a free flow, just observe, 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 observe. Like that, you do it while your eyes are open. When Bobby comes and he's sweating, don't take it as Bobby sweating, just the sweat. How is Bobby coming? Because he has consciousness. What if the consciousness depart? Is there a Bobby there? No. If Mirin is coming, what does the Bobby should do? Just see that because consciousness is there, the body is seemingly walking. It's just a seemingly walking. And with what? With Patavi. Because now I can see the solid thing. And in fact, Mirin, since you're from medicine, just like May. If you touch any part of the body, you will find only hard and liquid. What else will you find? Just cut open, take a thing and cut open. What do you get? All kind of fluids will come out. And when the delivery of a baby happens, it is the only fluid which is coming out. Placenta, this one, we name it, but actually you can't even tolerate the smell. It's so odd smelling. And in the Western countries, they make the husband wash the labor pain. And he'll be watching like this, as though something extraordinary is coming. Actually, that husband should put himself that he was there in that very place. And he's taken so much labor pain to come out and that's all what it did after coming out. And if it doesn't do, then its lungs, that is that connection between the heart and the lungs have to be, this thing has to be closed and that thing has to be opened. So it has to cry. And we all think the child is crying. No, it is closing the heart and opening there. Otherwise, it's called open heart. So that means you have to go for surgery to close that damn thing which is open now. So it is such a pain. You have been born with the pain. Now your pain is, the child is out. Will it survive? After survival, will it grow? After it grows, will it study? After studying, will it get a job? After getting a job, will it marry? After getting married, will it get children? If after getting children, will it become grandfather? What stupid. Yeah, even I have to go. My wife is saying, today the whole day you will be doing this. Okay, so now conclusion about this meditation,
I have to
especially.
ask one more question,
Yes.
before concluding.
Yes.
Like you were saying about some seven, factors of, I think in the beginning, that about the mind, that Vedana, all those things. So it is that part of that Jadasika and essential or primary ones in that Jadasika. That's what you were saying. That seven. It is general.
Yes. Chetasika are 7, universal Chetasika.
Oh, that is what everybody has.
Yes, all the time with the chitta it comes. Okay, yeah, Shreyas, bye-bye. So, first is phassa, contact. Second, feeling.
Vedana,
Third,
Sanya,
sanya, that is perception. Fourth, intention. Fifth,
intention, ekagata, jivendriya.
yeah, ekagata. Then jivitindriya, then manasikara. So what happens when the chitta, mind comes? It comes with this 7 together. Otherwise, the chitta cannot feel, chitta cannot perceive, chitta cannot have intention, chitta cannot have jivitindriya, chitta cannot have anything because it's pure light. So to make it live, it has to have this. So how do you know? If somebody were to ask, how do you know? Just watch this. You have, number 1, awareness. Chitta is aware. It's awareness. Second, the Chetasika will come, and hence there's a feeling, perception, and experience. Okay? Feeling, perception, experience. How does a feeling, perception, experience come to be? Because there is a contact. So the first thing is the contact. Second thing is the feeling. Third thing is the perception. Fourth thing is the intention. Fifth thing is the ekagata. That means you have to have oneness with that, meaning that object you have to hold it, otherwise it can't stay. Then the 6th one, it has to come to life. So you have to experience it live. That means when you hold Mireen in your hand or your daughter and you say that, hey daughter, what has happened? The Chitta Chetasika have come together with the Rupa. Right? It's true or wrong? It's true. Now when that comes, this Jivita Indriya, like Purisa Indriya, Itti Indriya, that is like we know even in medicine, that there is a male hormones and a female hormone, which makes it male and a female. By nature, nobody is a male or a female. It's a hormone which makes it. So if I have more of testosterone, then it is male. If it has more of estrogen and then the progesterone, it is female. So the amount of estrogen in my body shows that whether I will be having hairs on my skin or not, whether I will have breast or not. As simple as that. If the male is having estrogen, then they will have breast, which means male breast syndrome. So they have to go for an operation or whatever it is, because they have more female hormones than the male hormone. If the male hormone is more in a female body, then she will have thick secondary hairs and she doesn't develop breast. She will have a flat chest. So that is a cause of concern. So she has to do something to make the breast grow, because she has a female hormone. So there's Itti Indriya, Purisi Indriya, Jiviti Indriya, 3 Indriyas. So what is coming with the Chetasika is the Jivitindriya. So that makes it live. And then the Manasikara. So you take an attention of the, it's come. Daughter, how are you? Hey, Bobby, how are you? Hey, Mirin, how are you? That is the Manasikara. So this coming along with the Chitta. So the light is coming with these 7, universal. Because of the Rupa, the mind comes. If there were no Rupa, no mind will come. That's the next part of our meditation game. First is a Kalapa. So where are we now? To get the first one, Rupa, right. Then we get Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vinyan. The first is to observe at this moment. Am I sweating? Observe the sweat only. Don't do anything. Sweat. No sweat. Take something else.
Sorry, you also said with sweat. What's that word you used?
Grease.
Rasa.
Grease.
Grease. You told rasa, right?
Rasa, yes.
Rasa. So rasa, how it will come with cold?
Why it not come? It will be there, but you can't sense it because solidity has happened. Now you have more Patavi than the Apo, right? So what do you mean by condensing? I told you about ice, right? You see?
Yeah, you told.
Yeah, ice is condensed. So do you find more of water or more of hardness?
Hardness.
Exactly the same thing here. If it is condensed, you will not have the grease coming out. It will be dry skin. So what do? We take a cold cream and why? The dryness has removed the moisture. See, you see these words. We use beautiful words. Moisture. What is moisture? Liquid. But we take it for granted. Hey, Vilas, you have a good moisture. What it means? I have more water than anybody else. As simple as that. But I feel so happy. Is it? Am I not looking? See, look at my supple skin. What supple? Skin is supple because of moisture. Otherwise, it's dry. It will keep on breaking. Yes or no? Yes. So you will put some cream to block it. See, we are doing all of this. For that, you don't have to go to a retreat. You are doing every moment, basically. What is constipation? At your hard stools. So what you should know? Patavi has come. Why it came? Because of the coffee. What does the coffee do? It will dehydrate, meaning dehydrate, removes the water. So what is coming down under, like Australia, down under is what? Hardness. So when you are doing your shit, just observe, hardness has come. Softness has come. Water thing has come. Just that much. That's sati, awareness.
Yes.
I think we took a lot of your time.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, Janak, last for you.
As for?
Last talk for him because he wanted to know how to meditate this Kalapa thing. So he only started that. Yeah, so.
Yeah, the conclusion part, yes, please.
Yeah, you go ahead. You have last question, last comment, or whatever you want to have.
No, that's fine. So, I got answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is what we need to do in meditation. So first is samatha, watch the breath. Second, come to this. Whatever you're doing in the Goenka technique, put it everywhere here. Then we come to the third one later. There are 3 stages. The first one is done, samatha. Second one, third one is anupashana, part of it, which will come later. And once you do anupashana, you will have anicca, dukkha, anatta. Then you will have nibbidda, viraga, nirodha, patinisagga, nibbana. So you will have nibbanic experience. Experience where? In the consciousness, which is vinyan.
So while practicing, this Goenkaji way, whatever you are doing, definitely now I'm feeling cold, but I feel sweat. And somewhere I feel somewhere hot as well. That's a Kalapa, right? So
Yes, that's a Kalapa. In that part where it is cold, it is solidifying. In another part, don't take it as your hand or whatever, just for naming purpose. In another part, it is heating up. So you can watch this magic. One side, you're feeling cold. It's become condensed. Another side is becoming watery. So now you can ask this question, is this nitya or anitya? Anitya. Is it dukkha or sukha? It is dukkha. Is it anatta or atta? It is anatta. Done. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Okay then. Thank you so much for patiently hearing to me. I don't know how much did I overspeak, but anyway, thank you.
It was fantastic. Very much.
Thank you.
It was wonderful. Very insightful.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you then. Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.